Hi everyone, I'm Matt Mulvaney. This is the Apex New Features 23.1 presentation. It's an honest review from a non-Apex team perspective. That's right, I don't work for the Apex team, I work for Pretius Low Code. Here's some stats about me. I'm a blogger, Apex plugins, developer, browser extension, presenter, multiple countries, also a Yorkshireman. This is the area I live in, and I live pretty much in the middle of that region. I work for Practice Low Code. We have over 50 Apex specialists. We can help in any part of your Apex team, a very little part, or we can manage a highly complex projects. We've written over 50 Apex developers, including these three here. We have our base is in Warsaw. It's very close to the airport, so very easy for us to come see you, you to come see us. Okay, let's get started on this. You might have seen from the Oracle team having a safe harbor slide, and I thought I think I better have a safe harbor slide. I just want to say that all these views are my own, don't represent my company. Um, there will be some education in this presentation, but there'll also be some entertainment as well. So I will be putting Apex in a fault-like state. So if you're making a buying decision based on this, just think all these problems will be solved pretty much in the latest or the very next patch set release. All the minor issues that I've talked about are definitely minor and have been raised with the Apex team as well. So expect those to be fixed very soon, and I will no longer be able to have a funny presentation anymore because all these issues will have been fixed. This, by the way, is a picture of Whitby. Whitby is on the Yorkshire coastline. It's a beautiful fisherman's town. It's got this lighthouse and this wonderful harbour here. Whitby is famous for over 100 years ago by a visit by a guy called Bram Stoker, who wrote the novel Dracula. And in the novel, Dracula came on board his ship, the Dementor, and he landed in England and he landed in Whitby. So a little bit of trivia there. So I want to really cover these flagship features for you, the modernized object browser, which I'll start on first, template components, push notifications, something underrated called execution chains, and then fitted around that some miscellaneous like the administrator digest, save and run, themes, and if we've got time, we'll debrief at the end with a summary of what we've seen. Okay, so this is very demo focused, so let's go straight into the modernized object browser. So here we go in Apex, we can go into object browser and you can see I've got a collection of objects in here. They are the tables that we're seeing here. I'm actually seeing the weather table here, and I can click through here. I can see data. There's my data. I can see statistics and sample queries. Some sample queries. I've got a report which I can run straight away, or a bar chart. So maybe I will have a list of looks like the countries and the count. So I can run that, and it goes straight into SQL commands, runs the query, and you can see it straight away on there. They also had the ability to copy the query, but I've elected to run it in this time. Now, if I go back into Object Browser, where do I land? Well, I land on the very same object which I was previously focusing on. So on the weather object here, and on the correct tab. If I was to click on the departments and have a look at that and move away, I would come back on the departments. So how does it work in another tab? If we open up another tab and let's go to another object. So, this is the splash screen because it's on a different page. So on the splash page or landing page, you get to create database objects here. So I was going to check maybe on the emp table here, and then I was going to go to the gallery just to get out of that page. And then before it got a chance to load, I'm going to go back into the gallery again just to check, am I on the departments page or am I on an object which I was previously on? So I was on the emp. So there's some kind of storing of the session state of the tab you were on, so you can get back in it, not just in the browser, but in the tab itself. Okay, so let's get back to that landing page. In fact, how do we get back to it? Where's the button to get back to the landing page? Well, in fact, you've got to click on any of these parent things. So if I click on types, aha, I'm back in it. I'm back into the create objects page. So I can create any objects here like tables. It's going to load up the tables object. It's going to create packages. You get a different window for that. You can also right click in here to create a type. You can also create any of these things here as well. So I can create an MLE environment straight from Apex. So all these things you can create, like triggers, like database links, like materialize view. No, materialize views is not there. It's not on this menu here, and it's not down there. So you cannot create materialize views for some reason through this new SQL workshop. So everything you see is a new, there's a full tree. If I search for emp, then I've got emp. If I get rid of it, then I've got to collapse all these objects again. That's a bit annoying that it wasn't left how it was opened. Okay. You can also, in fact, you can, let's create a table here. So if we create a table here, call it Matty. The semantics is char or byte or default. I don't know why the default isn't default, but there you are. If I create a table comment there, and let's start to create a table. So we need to edit, like, because it's an interactive grid, call it ID, number, primary key, nice and easy. If I have another thing like name, varchar2, 22, maybe like shoe size. So I've got shoe size is a number. Now if I change my mind, I think don't want shoe size, let's delete it. It goes straight away. And I think, oh no, I did actually want it, number. How does it look now? So I've got ID, name, and shoe, and it does that little preview. So it tells us what the SQL is going to be just before it runs it, and I can create a table or I can go back. So let's change my mind again. I don't want shoe. Let's delete it. So it disappears straight away. Oh, right. So when you preview it, it must store like a temporary version of what it is, and it's marked for deletion. If I want to reset it, then oh, how do I do it? Click here, refresh rows. No, can't seem to do it. I just wanted to refresh that one. Never mind. Let's move on. Let's put address in, spelled correctly. I'm pressing V just to get a varchar. And I want address at the bottom, so I'll shoot it down like that. Maybe I want height, and that will be a number, and that we'll keep it like that. Comments, you can put any comment in here. So a comment, for example. Under each heading, you can look at the help, and it says, oh, it's a comment for this column, or you can hide it. If you hide it, then there is no way of putting it back. In fact, the only way to get it back is just to log off your workspace completely and then come back. So don't do it. Don't hit this button on any important column like column name or data type or basically any of these ones. Don't do it. So I'm going to create my table now. And when it creates it, it focuses on it. It's a shame it doesn't put the little focus on there, but it doesn't. Then I've got my sample queries. Cool. Let's look at the sample queries when it loads. Okay, so I've got ID, name, address, height. Oh, shoe size. I did actually want that. So let's put shoe size on now. Shoe size, it's a number. Let's create it. And then shoes should appear. Oh, it doesn't appear here. Well, let's try and refresh it. Oh, it doesn't appear here either. So it seems to me, I'm going to run the query now. It seems to me that you've got like one shot at creating the table, and then it does um, the sample query. And then if you add more columns, it doesn't seem to be able to modify it and add them on, which is a bit of a shame. Let's go back and review the sample queries. And I'm not sure what that refresh button does. Anyway, let's visit the table, and let's just drop the table. Okay, so the table's dropped now. You're focusing on nothing, and I've tried this before. I've tried deleting a table, moving away, moving back on, and it doesn't crash. Basically, it just doesn't focus it. So let's have one more shot at it. Let's create a table this way. It's the Matty table again. This time, I want to speed up. Let's just do a number. It's a primary key. Create the table. So there's no height, there's no shoe size or whatever. Let's look at the sample query. Whoa, that's not my table. So it seems to be the sample queries created in like your workspace somehow, and you can't seem to undo that somehow. It just seems a bit weird. Okay, we don't need this table anymore. Let's just drop it. Okay, so another thing I kind of like is the ability to like select multiple columns like here. So I can control C that, and then maybe I could fire up Notepad, paste that in, and it's exactly how I copied it. So I think that's a nice feature there. What else we're going to do? I can show you SQL Developer Web. So SQL Developer Web is enabled on this menu only if you enable it in the internal, in the workspace management, enable SQL Developer Web there. And that will give you the icon here. Now this will only work unless your schema, and mine is E3, is REST enabled. It's registered with ORDS, so that's one thing. The other thing you need to do is just check on the about page whether you're using a later version of ORDS. So this one is using 23.1.4. The documentation says you've got to use 23.1 and above. That doesn't work. It just needs to be 23.1.3 and above, and then that's going to work. And the final thing to get SQL Developer Web working is you need to be on HTTPS. I'm not. I'm on localhost. I'm on Docker instance. It seems to be if you're on localhost, you've got a special buy into it. So I've got one workspace, one schema, which is REST enabled, and it's going to go straight into that one. If I had more than one schema which was REST enabled, it gives me a choice of which one it is going to be, and it goes straight into it. It goes straight into the one you selected. So I'm just going to give it a few seconds to load up, and you can see it's very similar to this SQL Workshop. In fact, we'll just go in while it's still loading. It's still having to think about it. And I just want to get like a sample query from somewhere, maybe countries. That might work. So sample query, let's get this pie chart here. So copy it to the clipboard. Does it work? Yes, it does. It does always work. And this is slow. I think this is slow because I'm using OBS as well to record my screen. So my machine's getting a bit hammered right now. So yeah, I've got tables. I've got navigator. This is my schema. They look like my tables. If I paste this in, I can run it, and it should take just. Well, I wasn't expecting that long to run, but it just take longer than a SQL Workshop. If I run that here, you can see it's almost immediately. If I press this, let's just count 1, 2. Ooh, it's there. 1, 2. Okay, before I really can get to 1, the results are there. If I run it through here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really slow. Here, go, go, go. It's really quick. So it has got some bonus features as this. So maybe you could manage database users. So if I go in, I can see my username, and really, if I edit it, I can only really change my password. I can't grant roles to it. There's no create button there. I could get all this enabled, to be honest, by granting the create user to my user, and that would work. You can go into charts, I guess, and you could create a chart. Here's an example of creating a chart. So if I create a chart, this is kind of created on ORDS, and then it gives me URL, and I can just share it with anyone. Let's just type a load of nonsense in. Oh, I've got an actual query there. So I'll give it a few seconds to think about that query and trying to work out what the best chart type and axes are. As I think about it, yeah, that should be good. So it's creating this chart now. Apologies, it's a little slow. And then I've got a URL, and I should be able to share it with you. Okay. Extremely slow here. Okay, what more can I tell you about SQL Workshop? In the object browser, for example, the object browser, if I want to REST enable these countries, then I would expect to see it on the more and here. I can't see it there for some reason. It's been moved. I don't know why it's been moved. It was kind of handy there. Now you've got to go to REST enabled objects on a registered ORD schema, and then you've got to hit your create button and then create a REST enabled object, and that'll be my countries table. Okay, the chart. Okay, we're going to view the chart, look at this URL. The URL is going to be like a direct URL. This has got no security on it. So in theory, if I had a proper URL, I could get this chart and I could share it to you and you could all use it. There it is. There's the chart. Very impressive. Okay, let's just get rid of that chart. That's the first and only time we're going to see it. Let's go back into here and SQL, and we're going to go back into the navigator. The first time you go into the navigator, it takes you on a little tour. You can just close it down. There is one big feature that this is better than SQL Workshop, and that you can create a materialized view. Remember, you couldn't create a materialized view in SQL Developer in SQL Workshop. Let's go there, SQL Workshop. You couldn't create in there, but you can in here. If I just press create, you will see that it's created that object. And when object browser loads, I should be able to see it. Where are we? Materials, views, refresh. Oh, by the way, when you refresh, it looks like you're right-clicking and refreshing materialized view. You're not. You're refreshing the whole tree. And there it is. Is it created? Yes. Has it got any data? Cool. That's it. That's it for SQL Workshop. Let's move on. Let's move on to our app. Okay, so this is the weather app. It's my weather table. I've got this weather report, which is an interactive report. You can see I've got like Bangalore in India. On this date, it was 14 degrees. And in Albany, look at that, 39 degrees in the US on that date. Whereas Altoona is very cool at -10. And we've got this symbol. Basically, we'll talk about this later, but 5 means hot, 1 means cold, and like 3 somewhere in the middle for getting hot. 2, not the coolest, but cool. Yep. Okay. So wouldn't it be nice if I had some visualization there? And this is what this column is called the weather. So I need some kind of visualization, and this is what template components are really good at. And this is the new feature, flagship feature, template components. So not templates, not email templates, not template options, not template directives, template components. So just think about that. There's lots of things called templates. We're looking at template components. So I did one Google search for a weather visualization, and I found this by Zanina. Now Zanina's created this. Look, this good, isn't it? It's like a sun. It's got some clouds. It's got some hover over. All it is some CSS and some HTML. So I'm just going to copy this into clipboard. Now, Zanina is using some classes which are used by Apex, like card and container. So I've just prefixed them. If I open up my work in here, well, even better on the CSS, you can see that I've got UI in front of them all, just to make them different. Yeah. So I'm going to copy that HTML into my clipboard, and then we'll go straight away and start creating a template component. So I'm going to go to my application, just somewhere in my application, because really I want to get to share components. And you can't get to share components straight from the developer bar. So you've got to go through, you've got to hit one of these buttons like app 101 or page 4, and then we can go to share components. I can tell what's going to happen if I move the tab. It's going to be still loading the page. Can we get straight into share components? I think we can. So I'm going to shortcut all that and go into share components. Have a little drink while it's waiting. Okay, so let's find, where are the template components? So templates and email templates. No, this is template components. And they're not there. And I said they were in share components, but they're not there. That's because they're a type of plugin. So if we click on plugins, we can create another plugin. Now this button's kind of scary, especially this one's create from scratch. I'm a plugin developer, and I never really created from scratch. It's far too scary. But all this resembles the plugin development page. So I'll give it a name, an internal name. Why have I given it backwards URL? Well, this is like a standard that plugin developers have for Apex, so we can export it. We can put it on a repository, and I could export it, and you can download it straight away. The type is template component, which is a bit cheeky because almost all plugins are dynamic action, so it's a bit cheeky having that one. And it says available as single, partial, or multiple report. Like, what does that mean? So I'll click on the help, and it's single is single. Oh no, that's multiple. Oh, so they're in the wrong order. So single, I've got to read down there, and multiple, I've got to read up here. Now, we could all read this together, but we need a memory trick for this. And your memory trick is like this. Multiple is a region. Single is a column. That's all we need to know. So single is a column. Oh, I want it in the column, and I want it in a report as well, in a region. Okay, so we've got some like code here. Report body. Okay, so in our report body, it includes rows. What's rows? Ah, it's a row there. What does row include? Partial. What's partial? Let's scroll down to it. Oh no, we can't scroll down. We've got to scroll up. So I'm very used to Apex in reading things like top to bottom, like logically down. But no, we've got to start in the middle, we've got to go to the end, and then back to the beginning. Okay. Anyway, this is multiple. This is partial, by the way. If lazy loading, then I don't want to read it. Else, if it's not lazy loading, then get rid of that. And then we're left with the bare bones here. What am I going to paste in there? Zanina's code. Yeah. I'm going to create a plugin, and we're halfway there now. Just halfway there. So it's going to create that plugin, and it's going to reload it up with some additional information because I'm only seeing half the plugin information here. Now, do you remember Zanina had this CSS? No problems. Let's just upload that CSS. Files, create file. We'll give it a new name even. We'll call it weather.css. Press create, and while it's having a think, we'll go to our CSS and we'll copy all that out. The only thing I've changed is the prefix. Paste that in. Save the change. I wanted to save this file, which it did it, and it said, oh, it's minified it. Oh, we should have two files now, the fat file and the minified file. Let's just go check that's correct. So if I shoot down to files, we've got two files. Now pick one of these. Which one? I've just randomly picked that one. In another presentation, I might pick the top one. And then you've got to load them. Now this is similar to plugins and how you write them. You load things in and you start using them. And we can start using this straight away. If I edit the page, I was going to say, if I edit the page, I want Page Designer to open up. And specifically, I'm looking at that weather column, and I'm going to set that to this new template component that I've just created. Which one have I created? Well, it's called weather. Yeah. And I want it to look like Zanina's work. So the weather. Right, I picked template components. Ooh, why do we call it application components? Oh, I thought we were building a template component. Okay, I'm going to pick that one. I just want to show you there's theme components as well. So theme components are built-in template components to your theme. There's 6 of them. It's like comments, there's badge, there's avatar. What's avatar? Avatar is this. I'm logged on as admin. My avatar is AD with his background. Yeah, that's an avatar. We're going to use weather for our column. And we're going to give it a go. Because we just created this in seconds. Well, it's having a think. My machine's getting hammered. I'm going to just open this up in another tab. Hopefully it's going to load a bit quicker. Oh, it's still saving. Okay, I think I need a new laptop. And then we're going to go into share components. And then going to go into the plugins, hopefully. While this is loading, it's done. How does it look? Oh, look at that. That's very nice, isn't it? But there's a problem, is that this is supposed to be Albany, 39 degrees, and it's in Tunisia all the time. Fine. Okay, we're going to go into that and we'll fix it. So when it goes into it, this is where weather 2 comes in. So we're going to paste over that partial. Okay, remember I've got Mezzadine, Tunisia, March the 13th. Paste over that. Now I'm using my own system now. This hash symbol, hash country, hash the date, hash temperature. Celsius, I'll keep it Celsius. Now I need to create attributes, custom attributes for each of those hash symbols. And I don't want to add them one by one. I just want to scrape them out. So I'm going to scrape them off the partial and using that synchronize button. The synchronize button is going to put them all down there. I'm going to refresh this, see if I can battle with my CPU, and look, it scrapes them all off there, and they've got identifiers. Oh, they've got the correct label. Perfect. So all that I need to do now is go back into my page and start assigning the those parameters to the template component. Okay, which column is called the weather? Oh, what's this? City. Well, I know what that is. I've got city there. Country. I've got a country column. Temperature. Temperature column. The date. Date. So we're going to give that a run. And while it's having a really long think about it, I'm going to prepare for the next one. So copy that into the clipboard. It's going to save the page. Ooh, we're going to focus. So, oh, look at that. Albany, US 39, -8. Baltimore is Beijing there. Beijing is, oh, it's a hot day in Beijing. 39 degrees in China. Okay. Am I happy with this? Well, kind of. I've got this sun here and this cloud. It can't be cloudy at 39, and it can't be super hot pulsating sun at -8, can it? So we'll fix those visualizations by going back into the plugin. So under here, I'm going to paste over the top. Well, I'll explain how it works actually. So there's a bundle of classes. So look at this cloud, left and right, sunshine, that's pulsating sun, that's just a sun, cloud, back, left and right. Okay, let's fix all that with template directives. So it's saying case the symbol, which is another column. When 1, do that. When 2, do that. When 3, do that. So I'm going to synchronize that, and then I'll show you how this works. So template directives, this is the universal theme app. I've got it installed as a PWA. I recommend you install it as a PWA as well. So template directives are work like this. So it's if it's like exists really or true, then run like this code or run that code. For case, you can say, well, when it's this value, then add a square. When it's a circle, do a circle. Or loop's very good for bullet points, and you've got something called dynamic templates here. So you haven't got like a between or above or lower this temperature. So that's why I'm using the symbol and the case. Remember, so the case, when it's 1, then 1 cloud. When it's 2, then, okay, 2 clouds. When it's 3, then a cloud in the front. When it's 4, then put a sun, 5 pulsating sun. So all I need to do now is go to that one and just set it up. And I've got, oh, not the weather, the symbol. And it should work, should be good. Now, because it's having a long think about that, do you remember we had single, which meant a region? So we're going to set up as a region. Look, looks good, doesn't it? So we're going to have this as a region. So I'm going to go back to my page. We're going to create another region here. I don't know, let's call it, we'll call it / today's weather. And this will be a template component, also known as application component, which table, weather. Let's do it nice and simple. Where random is less than or equal 1, and then we're going to fill in those attributes. So city, country, temperature, date, symbol. Now where is it? Right at the bottom. Let's put it at the top. Sequence 2, give it a run. See, when I did sequence 2, it bumped it right up to the top above weather there. So while we painfully wait for this to load, oh, it saved it, I think. It's coming up. It should just put it as there. Look how cool that looks. What a wonderful day in Kokomo. Nice. The spacing looks good as well. Oh, what's that? What's that bullet point there? Okay, well, let's fix that bullet point. So the bullet point comes from this. Remember, we had a UL, which is like a list. We're going to change that. Let's change it to a div. And these are list items, li. Change it to a span. Nice and easy. Right. Okay. Let's have a look at lazy loading. So let's do a 2-in-1. Fix the bullet points and add some lazy loading. So here is like a visualization of how you want to indicate that something is being lazy loaded. So I'm going to use an icon. I'm going to use like a circle. How's that look? All right. So copy that, and we're going to put that right in the middle there. Let's stay on the page. And okay, so this, imagine this is just one line, yeah? A spinning circle. How many spinning circles do we want? Well, we have this number of lazy loading skeletons, which is a cool word. I'd love it to be a spinning skeleton. That'd be way cool, wouldn't it? So we're just going to have one on there. And of course, we need to change this to be a lazy loading item region. And we're going to click the button. And because this is ridiculously slow, I guess there'll be a lot of spinning. Shame there won't be spinning skeletons. Okay, let's have a look. Keep your eyes peeled. Oh, look at that. Wow, that was definitely lazy. So that's lazy loading. Oh, and the bullet point's gone. Cool. Isn't that amazing? Okay, let's do something else. Let's have a look at another feature. And the feature we're going to look at is push notifications. Why not? So in push notifications, we're going to push some notifications to the app. So it doesn't really matter if you've got a desktop application or an installed application on Android or what have you. But to do this, I'm going to have a region, and it'll be like a form region. And there's two items that I need to do. I'm going to create a P1 title, and I'm going to create a next item that I need is P1 body. So to send a notification, let's do a text area, and then maybe like some button to send it. So send. So yeah, it's that button. Oh, you're right. Inform. Okay. Oh, let's put it in my favorite place. Edit position. It's going to submit the page. It's going to be a hot button. Oh, okay. F8. Let's do a fighter jet. That would look cool. So to run, I'll just run this now just to check out my form. So remember, I need a title and then I need a body. I need to focus this. Yeah, send it to somebody and we're going to send it. Okay. But first, I need to modify this application so it can send push notifications. So I'm going to go to application definition, then I'm going to go to progressive web app. And progressive web app, you've got to enable progressive web app. What this does is, well, if I turn it off and turn it back on, it enables these menus. That's one thing that it does, enables more of these options. The second thing that it does is enables advanced queuing. So if I've got a PWA app on my device and I turn that off, it still works. It's still going to work. I just don't have advanced caching. Fine. But we're going to look at push notifications. So I'm going to push. It says credentials. Well, I haven't got any credentials. Let's generate some credentials. This says I'm going to create some credentials for you, and it's going to invalidate any other credentials that may exist. And if you've got anything in the queue, you're not going to get those in the queue. What does the help say? It says to edit the credential, navigate to credentials and share components. Let's move on. No, let's do it. Let's have a look at share the credentials, share components. So where are they? Oh, they're over here in share components. I'm not in share components anymore. I'm in workspace utilities. Okay, so if I click on here, it's got a name, it's got an ID, authentications type. Oh, that's new. So I've got auth2 and HTTP. I've got key pair. If you want to know about key pair, just click on the help and it's not there. Just click on the view documentation because it's not there. You'll have to read more about it. Public key, I can see. Private keys is hidden, obviously. Prompt and install, what's that? It says whether it prompts when it's been imported into another instance. Well, my machine will probably die if I show you that. I can tell you that it didn't prompt when it installed. And furthermore, when it installed it, it turned that to off. Anyway, let's get back into our app. We're going to go to here. This is like a button which goes straight into the area that I need. So we've got credentials. That's part one. Part two is a settings page. Okay, add a settings page. So this is a pair of pages, a user settings page and a push notification setting page. Okay, so user settings page is no, this is a push user set is down there. All the bullet points are the wrong way around. So the push notification settings page 20,010, and then a user settings page is 20,000. Well, that's lower than that. The bullet points in the right order. It's just these are in the wrong order. Okay, so push notifications settings page. User set. You want a settings page? Okay, so 20,000. 20,000 is going to go in there because that's what it's asking for. The settings page 20,000. Oh, and 10. Okay, the contact email. You put any email address in there. Of course, I did a wrong one, so it's going to validate that was incorrect. Oh, it didn't invalidate. It was incorrect. Okay, it doesn't matter. It won't impact this at all. Right, next, what we need to do is refresh this and we can see we've got settings and look at that. We've got, what's this? MG. Well, I'm admin. I thought it was AD. MG. Oh, so you've taken the first letter of my email and the first letter of my domain. You put the two together, and now that's my avatar. In fact, it should be an avatar, shouldn't it? It should be an avatar because that's the new template component. No, it's not an avatar. It's a card region. So they missed the trick to have that. Anyway, let's focus on what we're doing. The push notification, that's off. We're going to turn that on. But what? We need to enable it for each device. Oh, that's odd because I thought it was on my username. I thought this was a user menu. In fact, this is like a device menu. Yes, so if I set this here in my Chrome, I need to do it again for Firefox and again for this ancient version of Firefox. And then I need to do it for Edge and all the other browsers on my devices. Yes, you have to do that. So I'm going to enable it on this device. And when I say that, ooh, it's failed to push. Enable the push. Whenever have I seen that? Right, never on the different applications where it's tried to do that. And the reason it's done that is because my browser's got ultimate control whether any website, Apex included, sends a notification. It's my preference. So I'm going to click here, turn on notifications. My browser says reload. Yeah, no problem, Mr. Chrome. I'm going to do that. And now I can go into the settings. Let's have another shot. Push notifications. Enable it. It has a think, and then it's on. Like, okay, what do I do now? Do I like press back and like get out here? Okay, has it really done anything? It has really done something. I can go into my page and I can check the thing that it's actually done, and it's using this data dictionary view here from Apple Push Subscriptions. So Apex Apple is Apex Applications because that's the parent, and then we've got subscriptions. So when it finally loads, I'm going to create a interactive report. And let's do like this. Create a region. Call it subs because it's about subscriptions. Double press I. This will be a SQL query. Fine. And you can see that when it runs, I've got a subscription for my username to this application. Okay, there we go. Look, admin there, and it's going to this Google APIs because I'm using Chrome, and FCM is something to do with Firebase. So Firebase is the technology which sends it. I can't remember what the CM stands for. No, I'm not going to guess it. So okay, it looks like I've set up now. So let's go back into my page, and we're going to push this notification. So for create a notification, call it push it, whatever. Now look, new thing, push notification. Send it to who? Well, to me, I'm like admin. Well, what else can I send it to? Oh, it says username the application user who should receive the push notification. That's all right, I'm admin. To receive the notification, the user must subscribed. That's all right, I'm subscribed. Username is case sensitive. That's okay because I'm lowercase admin. Yeah, I can check I'm lowercase admin because if I click that, it's oh no, it's uppercase admin. Just check. No, it's lowercase admin. Just check again. Oh no, it's uppercase admin. No, oh it's definitely uppercase admin. I'm just fooling around. It's definitely uppercase admin. I'm going to use app user dot, which is the same thing. For title, I'm going to throw a field in. In fact, what should I use here? Supported substitutions, page items. Oh, okay. So you want me to type in ampersand P1 title here, and in the body, is it the same? Yeah, it's the same thing. P1 body. Right, so that's it. I've got a send push notifications process, brand new, working in 23.1. Let's just try it out. So I'm the title, I'm the body. We're going to press send. Ta-da! I've got it. Sent. Yep. There's another data dictionary table which I could use to look at what I've got, but let's go into admin and we'll go down to look at that push notification. Oh, I was too slow. Look at that. It's come through. So, oh, I can't even see it in there. Let's close it and push it again. That was fast. Not used to something being fast today. And you can see, look, it comes through. I'm the title, I'm the body. you've got an icon URL and you've got a target URL and you've got attempts and an error message. Now, I'm using localhost, so I've downloaded Apex, downloaded Ords, and trying to send my notifications. The first time I tried to send it, I got an ACL error message. That's okay. You just go to the documentation, you go to apex.oracle.com/PWA, you get into the PWA reference, you go to push notifications, you go to common issues, and you run the access control lists query, which sets up your ACLs, and you will get through it, and you will no longer see that error message about ACLs there. You will see a second error message about certificates not being valid. So I've written a blog. If you look at my Hashnode blog at mattmulvaney.hashnode.dev, you will see how to get through the certificates issue there. You can push the queue, which sends it through. If it's errored, then you can use the force, which pushes it through again. If I click the item there, then it reloads my tab with the URL. I haven't got a URL, but we can make a URL. Let's try it. So if I've got a URL in my favorites here, we'll do that. No link defined. Which one is URL? We'll go to that, and we'll just play around. Actually, we'll just see what's achievable with these push notifications. So let's run it. So I'm the title. I'm going to use a del on that. What a del does is do the strike through, because I want to get a notification with HTML. Yeah, because it'd be nice to have HTML in there. And also, because we're playing around, let's put some birthday cakes in there. These are emojis. Do the same with the body. I'm the body. We'll send that through. That's now going to appear in here. I press go, which is a fast way of updating the interactive reports. Oh, what a mess here. It stripped out all my HTML. All the URLs seem to have come through. We can push or force. It comes through. Oh, what a mess that looks like. You can see the icon there. That's the icon of my app. I'm going to click it to see if the URL loads. Look, I lose my app now. Oh, I'm going to go into, it's a YouTube video. Oh, have I been rickrolled? So, okay, that's enough of that. So, yeah, I can send the link. I've lost my app now because I closed the window down. I'll have to run it again. Let's close that tab. Let's close this tab. Zanina, we don't need this anymore. Okay, we need this a little bit more. So for sending notifications, you've got these two views I talked about. You've got this who's subscribing, notifications queue, which looks a bit like the internal. And then you've got apex pwa.send notification, and you've got some parameters there. Now, URL is there, but not included on this example. What else? My good friend Plamon has found out that icon is there, so you can change the icon, not shown there. Link is shown here, icon is not shown there. So that'd be nice for future if you could have icon on there as well in the future. If you want to read more about Apex PWA, you've got to read on Plamon's blog, because you'll find this is undocumented. So should you use it or not? Well, you'll have to speak to the Apex team whether you can use this undocumented package as of currently. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to talk about with PWAs and notifications. Let's move on to something else. What should we do? How about background processes? Should be good. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate on this with the emp table. Now, I don't really like demonstrating with the emp table. At least I like to find a bit more interesting data. So I'm going to create a pair of pages. We'll have a form. We'll have a modal dialog. Which table? Emp. Okay, so a pair of pages, the interactive report shown as our employees, and then a form to edit those employees. Okay, what's the ID? So this is way quicker, this wizard, compared to previous versions of Apex. So the pair of pages, form and report has been created. Just refresh that. See if you can sneak in this way. Oh, look at that. It sneaked in before the page loaded. Okay, so we got Clark is on this salary. Okay. So if I change his name to like Clarky, let's edit the page to Clarky. What this is doing is submitting the page, updating the database, refreshing the interactive report. It's picked up that change there. Okay, cool. That's how this automated processing works. So we're just going to never that. We'll revisit that later. We'll create another process. This will be update salary. Yeah. And in our update salary, I have some code here to update the salary. Update $1 on their salary. Okay. Nice and easy. So Clarky, I can't change his name anymore because I've not set that up. Is on ends in 50. Let's just think ends in 50. Apply the changes. Was now in 51. So that's worked exactly how you want. Now, what happens if you want to group some of these processes up into some kind of chain? Well, we can. We can call it chain number 001. You can call it what you want, and then we pop the salaries in that chain. So move that to top. I want to like drag that into there. I can't drag it. I keep missing it. You can't drag it. You got to choose your execution chain. So I would say, oh, it's not an execution chain yet. It's an execute code. That's why execution chain. And then into there, I'm just going to pop it in there. So I've grouped some processes up. I can create a child process, which is really a process, and I could create another execution chain, and that could have a process, and that one so I could nest all my groupings on my chains. So I've now got a chain, which is a group, like I said. I'm now going to refresh the page. Clarky, who's on 51, update him, and now he's on 52. Yep, 52. Okay, now what if that process just took forever and I needed to run in the background? That's okay, I can run it in the background. So what this does is every time I press that execute or the apply changes button, it's going to take everything from session, all this into session, all my application items, all my substitution strings, all my collections, all into like a copy of the session and spawn another session in a background process and run that in the background. It copies everything apart from these temporary files, which is if I had a file browse on here, it says, well, do you want to copy that file browse? Because it'll take a little bit of time to copy it. So those are not done. But what's you can also put a file in is a blob in a collection. Now, how do I know that it copies all this into this background process? Well, I created a collection and I put 500 members in there, which are like collection speak for rows, and I put a 1 megabyte blob file in each of those 500 records. So I had half a gigabyte of files, and when I clicked that, that was a long time trying to copy into this background session. I also filled up my hard disk as well, so I had to delete a lot of files. I didn't really want to do that, but that's what I worked. So where are we? We're going to create this in the background. I think, did I refresh this? So we're going to, that 52 is now going to be 53. So I'm going to apply the changes. It sets off the background task. It refreshes this region. It's on 52. I wanted 53. Why isn't it 53? Oh, because it was too quick. It's still running in the background. How about if I press go? Is it 53? Yay, it's 53. Okay. So, okay, we don't want to update salaries anymore. We actually want to update and put this guy's name back to Clark. You don't want to be called Clarky anymore. So, remember, I can't drag into there. So I need to pop it in the chain. Which chain in that one? And then if I go down to the type, I can clear that selection there. And under this one, let's set this to Geneva. We don't want to run that one. Okay. So we just want to update the employee and set his name so that it's in the background. So I'll change it to Clark now. Remember, it closes it, it runs a background process, and it's too fast this refreshes too fast. That's why it doesn't say Clark. But by now, if I press go, it should say Clark, yeah? Press it. Oh no, it didn't run. What happened? Well, let's see what happened. If we go into the session state, we can see the status of this background jobs, and we go to background executions, and basically, oh, we need to set the page 8 because it was initiated on page 8. So we see all the background executions. Well, there's none, is there? There's because these are running right now. So the ones that have finished, regardless of successful, aborted, or failed, we've got to tick that now. Okay, it failed. Like, well, what's the error message then? How do we find the error message? Okay, look at these. These background processes are odd numbers, 5, 3, and the IDs are around 2015. Remember that, and odd numbers. Right. If I go into let's go into page 8. If I go into page 8 and then look at the debug, remember I've never turned debug on. I go into the debug. Suddenly I found something's been debugging in the background. This one 72 seconds ago with a path info nothing. It'd be nice if that had like background processing there. Look at these numbers. These are familiar. 2014, 2016, even numbers. All right. So the background process gets like a debug ID and then copies all the debugger information into this so my session can see it. Okay, that seems to be how it works. And what's the error then? Oh, no checksum found for lost update detection. Oh, I know what that is. Lost update protection. That is just that. So I'll just turn that off, save the page, have another go. It should be good. And I'm not good. I'm not going to put you through the pain of showing you the error again. I just want to say that you cannot run this process in a background chain. This type form automatic row processing DML, it doesn't work. Now, like, does this one work? I don't know. Does this one work? So there's no like rules of which ones can and cannot be run in a background process. I know for sure. Let's delete it. I know for sure that peel SQL ones can be run. How do I know that? Well, we've just done a few, haven't we? We've just run a few of them. So I'm going to clear that one. Instead of update celery, let's call it update emp. Right, so what do we do then? We update emp, we set, well, what was that, like an ename equal, what's an equal? Oh, there must be a better way of doing this, and there is a better way of doing this. If you go to utilities and you go to methods on tables, I can open this up in another link, and I can call it package API, fine, clipboard that, and then give it a bunch of tables that I want to be included in there. So we use emp, and when it's done that, I can do up to 10 tables to start with, and it creates, I think, 4 procedures. Look, insert, update, del, and get emp, yeah? And the one we want to use is this update emp. So it's going to create it now. I can see the specification. Then it's going to open up in the new object browser. I haven't got time for looking at it. And now we can use this almost new feature, invoke API, which was on the previous version of Apex. So I can say, well, with this parsing schema, it was the package API. Which procedure was it? Well, it's the update one. So I can either type it in or I can just pick it here. The update one. So it picks it. Now, can you at least set my parameters up so that they work fine? Is p job equal to p8 job? Oh, it is. Cool. So that is the best way of creating an API really quickly. Has it saved it? Let's give it a chance. Yep, saved. So now if I reload the frame, can we put the guy's names back how it was? Clark, refresh. Oh, that was super quick, wasn't it? And it's running in the background. Yeah, running in the background, super quick. Now there is a brand new feature for Apex 23.1. In this invoke API, it can invoke it on REST endpoints. Now the challenge for here in this presentation is, can it run it in a background process? So I'm going to create a REST endpoint here, and I'm building it from the catalog. And the catalog is great because we don't need to like keep on resolving it from scratch. We can just use this catalog to um, to share a bunch of methods on tables. Okay, cool. Right, so does this work equally as an API? So I'm going to choose brand new feature, REST source, which one, or the one I just created, which operation, it's the put. Now there's one little fix I need to do to hide it, because on REST APIs, you need to format the dates and to be the exact format that REST expects it, which is that. Yeah. So we're going to try now when it's saved to go into Clark, put Clark EE. Now this is a high chance of not working, so we'll see. So it's set it up. It's running in the background. Hopefully it's running without any errors. If I press go, oh, it did. It worked. So yeah, the high chance of it not working, but it actually worked. It's not the fault of the Apex component. It's just when you're live in a demo, sometimes things don't actually work as you want them to. Okay, so cool, that's worked. So that's the main features I want to show you. What else can I show you on here? You might have seen that I've kind of been avoiding something. So it's a new feature which I've kind of been avoiding. Right, I was going to need a modal page. Where can I get a modal? Oh, let's try it on the emp page. Yeah, let's try it on the emp page. So on the emp page, I'm going to open up page 7. And the feature we're going to look at is save and run button, brand new. So let's create a page load and let's create execute JavaScript and let's pop a box up. So anytime you see one of these text errors, you get this button here, which might change its label depending on the page type. So let's do some coding. Apex message alert, hi YouTube, something like that. Now save and run page. So when I press this, it's saving all the changes in my page, not just that box, all of them. And then look at that, hi YouTube. If I edit this, say hi everyone, save and run page. Reloads the page. Hello everyone, cool. Isn't that cool? Right. This button here, create, I wanted to call it add. So I'm going to quick edit that button. Oh, I'm still here. Oh, hello all. Yeah. Save and run page. Oh, what's this? Before you can save, all errors have to be fixed. Oh, I was having fun with that. What's happened here? Static ID. Oh, I've got hi all in there. That's okay. I can press undo to restore where it was. No, I can't undo it. What was it? Was it create or add? Oh, that was annoying, wasn't it? So all I wanted to do on here, where was it? Dynamic action. I just wanted to change that maybe to hi all, capital letters. Let's run that. So that's a bit annoying because I've lost my static ID, whatever it was. I've got hi all, cool. Right, now let's have a look at Clark. Okay, oh, we need some edits on this page. So I'm going to edit the page. Okay, looks like page 8. Oh, hi all. Oh, it wasn't hi all, was it? Was it initially hello everyone? Okay. Hello everyone. Hello everyone today. Yeah, save and run page. Oh, what's happening here? It's into a dialogue. What do you mean? Okay, let's refresh. Hi all. I thought it was hi everyone today. Okay, let's go into Clark. What? What's that? Hello everyone today. So where's it saved it? In title? Oh, can I use undo? No, can't use undo. Oh, what was it like? Emp? How do I fix this? Okay, so the reason I don't like it, this feature, is because it saves things in weird places that I don't expect it. It opens them up in different windows here. Where am I? Page 8 now. So page 8, if I go down here, maybe the comments. Oh, it's no longer saved now. And what's this tooltip here? Save out of 7. I don't have tooltips, do I? Oh, I do. That's weird. I thought my tooltips were off. They are off. So this is like there's some slight strange things happening here with it. Okay, so we've seen it. It can be saved in places which we don't expect. Yeah, so I try and like tend to avoid using this. I was going to show you on here. So tooltips off now. Let me see. Yeah, they're off. Definitely off. And then if you put this now, it's like the back on off LF7. Okay, so that's a comment. R7. So I'm going to hold on down Alt, and then I'm going to move my finger. Look at that to F7, and at the last moment, I'm going to move my finger to F8. And what's that? It saved the page. It's just strange. And then on back on page 7 here. So remember, it said that I need to save it with Alt and F7. Yeah, that was it. And I pressed F8 by mistake. So on here, Alt F7 to save. Okay. So it's Alt F8 now. Or what if I miss F8 and press F7? Oh, that works. Or what about F8? Oh, that works as well. All right. So it's saving it in the wrong places that I don't expect. It's forcing tooltips on, and the shortcuts seem to be whatever. And plus, I used to press F8 when there was some like invalid JavaScripts. Can't do that anymore. So that's like a feature that's been removed. Okay, right. Enough about that. Enough. Let's go to theme roller and do some styling. And I think this will be the last thing I show you. So let's go to colors and maybe make this theme maybe gold. Let's do gold, yeah. And you can see I've got a gold theme, yeah. So I can save it as something else like Vita copy one, and then I can export it, and it's downloaded, yeah. Which means if I go into another theme like Vita, which isn't gold, and then I import my golden one, which this is one I did earlier, it overwrites the available fields so that these primary palettes have been overwritten now. Cool. But what happens if I go to a theme which doesn't support these global colors, like Redwood Light? If I import there, golden, it doesn't. It's not applied. That's what the office hours told us. The office hours told us it doesn't apply it when you import a theme. It doesn't support it. But what if I was to export this now, and then go into another theme like Vita? So I've exported the Redwood Light after it was been imported with golden, and now I want to import it into this blue theme. What happens there? Redwood Light, as I exported it. Oh no, it's golden. So Redwood Light, it's true, it doesn't apply them, those changes, but it gets saved in the JSON. It gets saved in the theme, which means if you export it to a style which does support those features, then they all get applied. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I think it's just a minor little feature there. Okay, I think that's all I want to show you today. Let's just do the slideshow, finish what's left of the slides. Okay, not long. Okay, so I do like to end with the roadmap. So the roadmap, you can access this at apex.oracle.com/SOD for statement of direction. Now, unfortunately, this has not been updated for a long time. Like the runtime application customizations, well, that was like the change in the icon through the developer bar. So there's things that need to change here. Things I'm looking out for is machine learning and this lifecycle services. The latest addition was the REST source connectors to seamlessly integrate with APIs from external vendors. So that'd be really cool to see. Here's Pretius at Kscope in 2023. We have 9 events that 5 of us are involved in. So please attend Kscope 23. thank you very much for watching this presentation. You can reach me in the email. I'm on Twitter for the Pretius software on Twitter, or come and visit us on Facebook. Thank you for watching.